Ian Payne on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
Tomorrow, Keir Starmer's going to lead the debate. It's a Labour motion, which is talking about people like me, I guess, who are stuck in flats. They can't sell. They've got a huge bill because of cladding repair costs. And he's demanding help for what he calls hostages in unsellable flats. Who should pay for the cladding repairs, and are you affected by it? Who should pay for the cladding? Says, who's this from? Excuse me. This is from Sandra. Who should pay for the cladding? The original builder's insurance company. If they've been taken over, they should bear the brunt. If the government pays, the population is bearing the brunt of something that is caused by cost cutting, says Sandra. I think you'll find, unfortunately, that a lot of these companies will say, well, you know, we didn't do anything illegal. Why should we be liable? I've got a long explanation as to why leaseholders should not pay from Trevor. Forgive me, Trevor, if I edit your piece, just so at least sub it down, as they say. You have to get a completion certificate under the building regulations to be able to purchase. Buyers rely on this and the expertise of the building control body. If a certificate has been issued and the cladding is unacceptable, it follows that either the certificate has been wrongly issued or the certificate has been correctly issued and the regulations are wrong. In either case, no additional cost should go to the leaseholders who are purchased in good faith. Absolutely, but I'm sure that the people who you say will be liable will say, well, the regulations, we followed the regulations, but now they've changed the law. What are we supposed to do? We're not fortune tellers. Alan's in Edgware. Who should pay, Alan?
Good evening, Ian. Thank you for taking my call. I believe it certainly should be down to the government to cover the cost of it, and also to the developer and the councils as well.
Are you in one of these?
I'm in one of these, and from what I understand, I mean, our block has an estimate of 4.6 million for repairs to the cladding, which would leave me with something around about a 30 to 40,000 pound bill.
Oh my God!
And if you're going to find that. You've got people who've scraped together money to buy flats
Absolutely.
in other buildings and whatever. They've really had to work hard to get their deposits. They've saved up. They're just about managing to pay their mortgages. And where are they going to find that kind of money to put down to?
Exactly. They've got a deposit, and now that the cost for cladding is more than the deposit.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably make more sense for a lot of people to walk away from their flat and leave it, because the cost of the repairing the cladding is going to be more than what equity they've got in the flat. Now, I also believe that the council should be responsible and take responsibility for this, because from what I understand, they don't always come around and inspect the buildings as it's going along to see that everything is done correctly. But they rely upon paperwork handed in by the builder with all the boxes ticked as acceptable, and it gets passed. So they don't actually even come to check whether they're using the right cement.
Do you have one of these fire wardens, or waking watch, they're called? Do you have one of them?
Yes.
Do they do anything?
We don't have one. Fortunately, our block has has been... said that it's got a low fire risk, so we don't have a walking warden. But our insurance premiums have gone up phenomenally by something around about 35%.
Yep.
In the meantime,
our management costs go up every year.
We bought these flats in good faith. Okay, and therefore, if the government wants to change the rules and change the goalposts, then they have to do it from after that time. You can't backdate.
And it's also the other thing that seems to me why, again, I'm trying not to say that we should all be liable, is because if you need, say, like, you know, I have a flat in a block which is run by a management company, the freeholder, I'm the leaseholder. If they want to repair the corridors or the lifts or the stairs or the garage door, I don't have to pay for that. They pay for that. But now they're changing all the cladding on every single exterior of every flat, and they're saying we have to pay for it, and I don't get that. I understand it. If it was with... I own my flat. I own the space in my flat. I don't own all the space around it and the land it's on. So do I own the cladding of everything? No, I don't think I do I?
No, I don't think you do. I don't think it's your responsibility to pay, but you do have to pay, obviously, in your service charge for things like the lift or for repainting of stairwells for the upkeep of the block, which would probably include the outside painting or decorating, window cleaning, and that kind of thing. But this cladding is something totally different altogether, because this was an unfortunate incident, very unfortunate. What happened at Grenfell, okay, and as a result of this, they are taking blocks which would normally and probably never ever see a fire or a spark or a flame anywhere in the block.
No, absolutely.
But just in case, and that odd chance, you'd have more chance of winning the lottery.
No, I know.
Than a spark catching fire in your block.
It's crazy. Listen, thank you very much for your call. Sorry, we've got loads of people who want to talk about this. Hector says, let's just scrap HS2 and use the money for that. Well, I could think of worse suggestions. Our management company sent us all a letter and saying, if you have any questions, we will publish them. They then had to publish over 100 questions that people owning or living in the flats had for the management company. I think they've underestimated the strength of feeling here. Alex is in northwest London. Hello, Alex. Are you suffering?
Hi there. Yes, I am suffering. Thanks for taking my call.
Pleasure.
The property that I own, the freeholder managed to get funding for the cladding to be replaced, and there is a shortfall, so all leaseholders will have to make up.
Where did they get funding from? From the government, from that fund?
From the government.
Yeah,
correct.
It's pitiful, isn't it?
From the government.
Yeah.
However, the fund doesn't take care of the whole bill, so leaseholders are still liable for the remainder, which is, I can't understand why the government are not funding everything. There's also an issue with balconies now. There's the cladding, and then there's balconies.
What's wrong with the balconies?
Wooden decking will not pass the WS1 form.
That's what we've got. Don't tell me that.
So your balcony will also need to be replaced at an additional cost.
Oh my
this
God.
is what we've been told.
You're joking.
Yeah, and that cost for the balconies will not be looked after by the fund. The fund will not sort of pay for the balcony cost. And I believe every freeholder should be ordered to take down the cladding as soon as possible. They should, this was
just as a matter of interest. If you were asked at the beginning of all this, knowing what you knew about Grenfell, would you have said yes? I want it changed, please, and I'll pay for it.
Well, the cost is astronomical.
I just said no. I said fine. I'll take my chances.
Well, the fact that you can't sell it, the fact that you can't sell and do anything with it, it's an investment that you have now, which is worthless. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't go ahead with the deal. No. However, every freeholder, the government, when it happened, Grenfell happened, they took down all the cladding from any buildings, I believe, any buildings that they owned, that the council owned.
Oh, yes.
So in northwest London, there are several high-rise buildings that have been stripped bare of the cladding, and they're bare at the moment. They're still bare.
These are council flats?
These are council flats, correct.
Oh,
and I believe every freeholder should be told they need to strip their buildings, because forget the financial implications. There's still a huge fire safety risk that the government are not doing anything about.
Well, you've opened up a whole new vista of despair. Thank you, Alex. So the balconies are now going to have to be changed. Really? Currently stuck in a block, says this texter here, in northwest London, where the developer's been ordered by the council to replace the wooden balconies as one of the blocks caught fire a few years ago. Oh, my God. The developer has finally got the EWS1 report done, and we fall into a B2 category, which means we are stuck. They've made it clear the leaseholders will pay the cost of removal of cladding. The company have not given us the report which accompanies the form, and it is widely suspected that they're trying to get the cost of the balcony and the cladding rolled into one and pass it on fully to the leaseholders. Well, I didn't know about we haven't been told anything about our balconies, but the way things are going in the world at the moment, why not? Bring it on. As I said, we've had locusts. All we need now is a plague of frogs. It's 6:45.